So I am planning to plant my new lawn, and this wind is not going to help anything today, that's for sure, but I'm going to do my best here in the next day or so, or have to see what this wind's going to do. And we're supposed to get a storm coming, so I'm trying to make a decision on seed, but you know, these storms have been so wishy-washy lately that I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't rain at all. So is this late to be seeding? Yes, absolutely it is. But the thing about this is it's just kind of a gamble. Right now I could let this ground lay or try to put in some sort of just temporary cover crop and then try to do a spring seeding. That can be difficult though, and then I'd have to wait all the way until next fall to hopefully have something here that looks pretty decent, and I really don't want to do that if I don't have to. So just let me be the experiment person, I guess, for you to see how late can we seed. I'm going to try some different experiments and some different methods on some things to just get a sense of what may work. And the thing about this is that looking at the 10-day forecast, it's looking pretty good here, so I think I'm going to give it a shot, but you just never really know what's going to happen in these situations. This year it might work for me. Next year you might try the exact same thing and the weather might turn. Let's just see what happens. Follow along if you want, and we'll try some different things and hopefully have a ryegrass lawn put in here by Thanksgiving. So all of our grading work got done yesterday. It looks fantastic. So impressed with the people that we have had do our excavation work and the grading work. So if you're in the Des Moines area, Vanderpool is amazing and they have done a fantastic job on our project. They left it for me so that I could shape it just a little bit more. The grade is good, but with the Ventrac I can come in and just really smooth things out. So there's a lot of Ventrac work that I need to do today, and it is going to be a very dirty job. So I'm gonna put my mask on, try to not breathe in so much dust, and get to work. Well, as you can see, judging from my face, my glasses, everything else, that was a really fun job to do. It was about 35-mile-per-hour wind out here today. So unfortunately, I can't get the rest of this project done. There's just too much wind. I'm not going to be able to broadcast seed or do anything with this kind of wind. I also decided before that I was going to do about 5,000 square feet of turf out here. Now, after everything has been graded, it does look a lot bigger than I was anticipating it was going to, but I'm going to be doing some cover crops, and then eventually I'll have a different plan for out here once I figure out watering and all of that stuff. But Kelsey also has a plan for the front landscape that she has all sketched out. So before I seed and do all that, I want to make sure I understand where all of that's going to. I'll be back as soon as the wind is down. All right, so here's where we're at with this project now. It's still windy, but not nearly as bad as it was. So after I did that initial grading work, it was even more windy. It was like a few gusts of 50 miles an hour out here. There was no possible way I was going to be doing seeding. I had to wait that out, but then also after that, we got an inch of rain. Although that is going to delay this project just a little bit, I'd rather take the rain because it was so dusty. It was really hard to work the soil, and I wasn't able to do a whole lot with it like I wanted to. So today, I think I'm going to get the Ventrac back out, and I'm going to try to do one more grade up here. It has dried out enough now that I think I can work this, and some of these little clumps of stuff like this that were super dry and I couldn't work, looks like hopefully they're going to be able to crumble and I can make this look a little better. Now, one thing I want to mention is that although I will be real mowing this, or I'm planning to, it is going to take some time to get to that point and to get it level enough to get to that point, especially when you add so much fill into here and so much topsoil back into here. And the winter is coming up here. Even on my other yard at home, it would always settle a little. Things would change during the winter time, and especially just because this hasn't been packed in, hasn't had any roots growing in it, it will definitely change. So I'm gonna do my best to level it out, but I'm also not going to obsess over it right now just because I know things are gonna change no matter what I do, and I'll need to top dress and do some other things in the future to get it more level.
I can't hear you. Beating our lungs, beating our hearts. Lift up your voice, you got something to say. It's a brand new day. 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 When the rain falls, when the ground shakes, when the wind blows, when your heart
The other nice thing is that I'm so glad we had them remove all that topsoil and then put it back in, because there's, as you can see here, there's not a whole lot of debris in this. It's pretty clean, and that's makes it a lot easier for seeding, just so you don't have to clean out so much debris. So that's good. So as I said, that's about 5,000 square foot of lawn, and we're starting to run out of daylight for today, so I'll probably come back and do the actual seeding tomorrow. I'm waiting on some material as well as that I'm going to cover this with, which I'll explain once I get that and show you kind of the benefits of it, and the first time I'm ever going to try it, but we're going to find out how it works. The other thing I want to do really quickly is put up on the screen one of these shots and show you kind of the master plan as to right now what we're thinking for these various areas. So as I said, there'll be some landscape here out front, and then of course I'll have my lawn area. Now in behind that, I said that I did a cover crop, and that's really just to see if I can get that started for the winter time and into next season, because most likely it's probably going to be into next fall before I start any more major grass renovation projects. Now don't hold me to that, because I change my mind a lot, but after that, after this first grass area up here, this is going to be sort of the main stage area, and then back down into that field, this whole field that goes down here and has that barrier down there before you get to my plots, that is where I plan to do my small little golf course project. And when that's exactly going to all start, I don't know at this point, but I'm going to have one green down at the bottom there before you get to my other plots. And then I'll have various tee boxes. I'm planning to do like 9 tee boxes, hopefully, at varying distances here until you get up to closer to the building here. And then I'll probably have like the last hole just walking out the front door here, not too far, somewhere up in here. I'm probably not going to have enough irrigation out of my well to do that whole area irrigated. I'll probably just do the tee boxes, the green, and I may have a small fairway that goes down the middle, and then the rest of it I need to plan out what I want to plant there. That's why I'm going to be doing that drought testing too, to see what type of grass might work best in here that I can still mow fairly low and keep it clean and looking good for a golf course type look. But probably it's going to be some sort of fescue, or I may put in bluegrass and let more of it go dormant in the summertime and just water those tee box areas. So that, I just wanted to give you a sense of, now that the grading is done, the building is in, what these areas may look like in the future, and hopefully that explains it. And I'll be back tomorrow to do some seeding. Alright, so here's the plan with this. This whole little section out here, basically from right over here where this gutter is to right here, is just going to be a landscape bed, and possibly we may do some sort of little small sitting area, fire pit thing. We're not exactly sure. They pretty much endless possibilities right now with such a blank canvas. But so this section though, I'm just planting some annual ryegrass into it right now, just to hopefully get something temporary to hold into that spot for the winter time. And then what I was just working on right here, I'm going to try a different experiment. It's still going to be with annual rye, but I want to try a little different experiment right here. Okay, so I ran out of time yesterday to explain exactly what I was doing with this seeding, but of course we're putting down perennial ryegrass, and I have 5,000 square feet. I was going with a rate of about 7 pounds per thousand, so that means 7 times 5,000 square feet, I need 35 pounds of seed to put down onto this section. So I'm pretty close to that. I know that I had a 25-pound bag that I put down, and then I put down roughly 10 pounds of the next bag. That's a quick way to look at it, just the quick math there, but it turned out nice. And then I went ahead and I raked this in just by hand. Now I probably could have went and got my drag behind my four-wheeler, but because I have everything really nice and leveled out, I didn't want to do too much to that, and I know that when I do it by hand, I can be pretty gentle on it, and it turned out really nice.
You're a hustler, you've got to hustle. There ain't no time for sleep.
So my good friend RD mentioned to me that there might be a secret weapon in this project that I could use, and that is some row cover fabric. So what this is going to do is not only help when we do get some frost coming up in the next few weeks to protect the grass that may come up, but it's going to hopefully accelerate the germination process as well. It said that it could raise the ground temperature underneath by roughly about 8 degrees, and actually in the next week or so we're going to be in the 70s, low 70s here for highs. So I lucked out somehow, and I think I'm going to be good even if I didn't have these. It should help me to grow this in faster, and then once it does get colder in the next few weeks, if I leave these over top of that grass, it should help protect it as well. At least that's going to be the idea of it. I just grabbed these on Amazon, and it's about a 1 ounce fabric, so we're going to lay this all out just as if it were a seating or straw blanket or something like that, and get it tacked down. Then I'll get some water going on top of all this.
Get after it. Light that fire. Get after it. Light that
So about 5,000 square feet doesn't seem like a whole lot, except when you have to stake down all of those things. So who knows how many stakes we have in this, but whew, we got it done. Time to get to the watering portion. So I had them put a hydrant out here for our well when they ran our well water up here. But I haven't tested this yet because it's a long way up here, and I'm probably gonna have to get a bigger pump when we decide to do the full irrigation on this. But for now, I'm hoping that I can at least get enough water out of here to water this. However that's going to happen, I'm going to have to move some sprinklers, water a lot by hand, whatever I need to do. But the other thing is that this doesn't have a pressure tank yet, so this, I'm going to have to open this up. I'm going to have to go drive down to the well, turn the power on, and then come back up here and do that every single time because I don't have a pressure tank on it yet. Gonna go try that right now, see how much pressure I get coming up the hill, about 950 feet.
I feel like I need a code name, but I can't use Dragon, otherwise Connor's gonna get mad.
Yeah, sometimes you need a good old-fashioned walkie-talkie. I'll tell you when I get down to the well,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you to turn this hydrant on, like pull the handle, and then I'll turn the power on. You got your ears on up there?
I hear you.
You're supposed to learn the lingo. We have to make you watch Smokey and the Bandit a few more times.
What's wrong with my legs? I like these legs.
All right, go ahead and pull open the hydrant and then tell me when it's up open.
10-4. It's open. I hear a lot of air.
Okay, I just turned it on.
I can hear the water.
It's probably going to take a little while to get all the way up there.
Here it comes.
Okay, I'll come back up. It's not, it takes a while, probably a few minutes to push it all the way up. And so let me see here. That's not bad.
Watch it there, son.
So. So I got that all watered, took forever by hand, and I don't think I honestly am going to have enough pressure to run sprinklers off of that well pump that I currently have all the way up here. I have to figure that out. I've got to figure something else out because it's going to take me forever to continue to do that for the next couple weeks. But one last thing I wanted to talk about was that section over here, just this little tiny area, and what we're going to do as an experiment with this. So I left this spot open so I could try more of a plastic on here, more of a what you would put up to do painting or something like that. It's going to actually heat up quite a bit underneath the plastic, I think, and so I'm gonna have to be careful with this thing and watch it for germination and take it off right away, but I want to try it in a small place. I got a lot of watering ahead of me, but hopefully the weather holds out and the forecast looks really good. So stay tuned for the results to see how this turns out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.